And now, Mr. Armstrong will introduce this year's valedictorian.
Thank you, Mr. Pindor. Graduates, as you know, your valedictorian is selected through a voting process. So this year's valedictorian, I'd just like to take a moment to describe for the parents that are here some of the characteristics about this person. So our valedictorian this year is described as a funny person, a nice guy, multi-talented, both musically and athletically. He played the lead in this year's musical, The Pirates of Penzance, where he played the pirate apprentice. He is described as a spirited member of the Ultimate Frisbee team, a member of the chamber choir, senior jazz ensemble, and senior band. He has sung with the Guys, an all-male choir here at LP. He's always smiling, a pleasure to teach and to see in the hallway, was the minstrel in Once Upon a Mattress. He has an amazing singing voice. Miss Brown says it's the best high school singing voice she has ever heard in her 20 years of teaching. Apparently, he also does a mean Chewbacca noise impression. Please help me welcome this year's valedictorian, Daniel Jose. About Daniel. So most students are always eager to know what their marks are, and they're asking their teachers constantly. But apparently Daniel never wanted to know what his marks were. He refused when his parents would come for parent-teacher night, and if the teachers would share the marks with Daniel, Daniel would ask his parents never to share the mark with him, which is unusual. He's, as I say, most students are looking for the mark. He just wanted to do the best work he could. Welcome again, Daniel.
Before I start this off, I'd like to apologize for my horrible diction today. I kind of got into a fight with a soccer post on Monday, and I lost. So, anyways, good evening, parents, teachers, and of course the graduating class of 2012. Thank you all for coming out today to support your children, students, and peers. I'd like to start off today by saying how honored I am to be up here representing such an amazing group of people. People who worked tirelessly for so many years to achieve their goals. However, I'm also extremely nervous. Many of you know me as, a singer, an actor, or even the guy whose hair feels oddly like a chia pet. But I'm sure not many of you think of me as much of a speechwriter, and honestly, I'd agree with you. When I found out that I'd been voted valedictorian, I experienced two very distinct feelings. First was excitement, and that was soon followed by copious amounts of panic. It's mostly because I had no idea how to write the speech. It was one of those situations in which there were so many things to talk about that I had no idea where to start. However, several meetings with Mr. McKay and the abundant ideas and support from my family and friends helped make this a much easier task. Some suggestions I got were slightly odd. For example, talking about Dragon Ball Z, or even telling the pink table story. Others were actually quite inspiring. In fact, the advice I got from one friend gave me the encouragement I needed to actually start writing the speech. She told me to write whatever I felt in my heart. I felt this was a pretty good idea, so I tried it out, and here goes. It's been a challenging journey. As if 8 semesters of exam stress wasn't enough, we also had to deal with the extremely dangerous, yet inevitable disease that is senioritis. And what is senioritis? Well, for those of you who may not be familiar with the term, senioritis is defined by Urban Dictionary as a crippling disease that strikes high school seniors. Symptoms include lack of studying, repeated absences, and an over-excessive wearing of sweatpants. The only known cure is a phenomenon known as graduation. Here we are. The late nights and long days spent with our noses in textbooks and our minds wrapped around the mysteries of knowledge, application, and tips have all been stepping stones leading up to this one moment. This amazing, liberating moment. We've worked so hard and for so long. And for that, I'd like to say congratulations. Congratulations to everyone who's here today. And congratulations especially to anyone who's had any doubts. Because it didn't matter how impossible the ISU or how terrifying the Muscleman. You've all proved yourselves wrong. Of course, our lives at Lorne Park haven't solely been about letters on a page or the words of wisdom that our teachers have hopefully engraved into our minds. All of us have our own memories of Lorne Park, our own stories and experiences that have enabled us to grow and learn what it truly means to be human. This group alone has witnessed so many unforgettable moments and accomplished a great number of seemingly impossible tasks. For example, this year, for the first time in school history, our senior boys hockey team qualified for OFSA by placing second in regionals. Last year, we also got to experience the birth of a new sport at LP, one that I personally had the ultimate pleasure of playing. But let's not forget the sport that's probably most loved by us all, dodgeball. Let's remember 4 years ago, when a group of guys who are probably here today banded together to create one of the greatest dodgeball teams that this school has ever seen. As important as sports are at Lorne Park, we also have a great love for the arts. Throughout the years, students at LP have expressed themselves on canvas and through song or theatrics. With 2 outstanding musical productions in the past 4 years and semi-annual art shows and music nights, the arts at our school are truly a force to be reckoned with. Last year, our fantastic art students were given a night of appreciation in Lorne Park's first ever arts banquet. But still, our greatest accomplishment of all is one that I personally take the most pride in. It focuses on the individual. As these 4 years have passed us by, the countless clubs and activities at our school have helped each and every one of us learn a great deal about ourselves. Maybe you've discovered that you have a passion for giving back, or organizing major events. Maybe you have an alter ego, or maybe you just love getting down on Fridays around the school. Our guidance counselors, who've helped us pave the roads to our futures, and of course the administrative staff, who have always done their best to keep us in line. I like to think that because of you guys, we're all a little bit more diligent. And of course, thank you to our amazing teachers, who truly made Lorne Park feel like a home away from home. Your ongoing dedication to us students has been evident in so many ways. Whether you are organizing and supervising clubs, giving extra help to struggling students, or just keeping things interesting in class, your efforts have not gone unnoticed. On behalf of the whole graduating class, I'd like to thank you for providing us with the tools that we'll need in days to come. And finally, I'd like to recognize the people who've influenced our lives most during these high school years. I'd like to give a shout out to all of our peers. Some of you have known each other for your whole lives, while others have only gotten to know each other recently. However, old friends are new. The bonds between individuals at LP have truly astonished me. In every circle of friends, I've seen so much love for each other. I've seen constant encouragement in times of doubt, and I've seen unfailing comfort during times of sorrow. One of my favorite stories about the never-ending support that I've witnessed at LP actually happened while I was writing the speech. I told a good friend of mine how stressed I was and that I was scared my speech wouldn't be good enough. But he put his hand on my shoulder and told me not to worry, that whatever I wrote, everyone would love it, and that he'd always be proud of me. I felt like I should mention this because it shows how much all of us really care about one another, and that there's always someone around who can say something to brighten your day. But without a doubt, the most impressive display of our togetherness arose during one of Lorne Park's greatest times of crisis. The losses of Lucas Shooter and Brody Stevens hit everyone at LP extremely hard. However, it seemed as though immediately everyone came together showing love and support, which in turn created a sense of hope and solace. Although it's extremely unfortunate that Lucas couldn't join us today, he will always be with us in our memories, and more importantly, in our hearts. As we enter a new chapter in our lives, many of us, including myself, might have some fears. Although there may be some stresses that will accompany adulthood, I assure you there will all be just as many, if not even more, enjoyable moments. Each day of our post-secondary lives will be filled with adventures and experiences that will teach us even more than what we've learned in the past 18 years. We'll all become more independent, we'll meet new people, and for those of us heading off to college and university, the things that we'll learn will give us a greater understanding of our passions. You may have always dreamt of becoming a doctor, a lawyer, or even a famous musician. Or maybe you actually learned something about your future hopes from grade 10 careers. But now, being here today, we're all one step closer to reaching those hopes and dreams. And once we have, I'm sure we'll all accomplish great things. But before we do, we have quite the journey ahead of us. There may be some rough patches along the way, but from what I've seen in the past 4 years, each and every one of us has more than enough strength to overcome any obstacle. A great man once said, "You tried your best and you failed miserably. The lesson is never try." Of course, that man was Homer Simpson, so just scratch that. The actual lesson is to believe. Believe that with any challenge, you'll always be able to pull through, and know that you will never be alone. Be it your family, the friends you have now, or the ones that you'll soon meet, there's always going to be someone around to lend a helping hand. Also, you must always remember the time that we've spent together. Remember the laughs that we've shared and the tears that we've shed. But most of all, remember Lorne Park, because the school's changed us. It's made us strong. I know this because I stand here today graduating alongside almost 300 Spartans, confident and prepared for anything life might throw at us. So, I ask you this simple question. Spartans, what is your profession? Thank you.